Hello and welcome back to the Movie Attic. I'm Mike, and as I've said before, this is the Attic where I discuss and review movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks for all the nice people out there in YouTube land. This is my first movie review of 2026, and I couldn't have picked a better movie. It's a B movie, kind of a cheesy movie, but I liked it. So, today's big movie is Hotspring Shark Attack. I had gotten this released from Vinegar Syndrome as one of their partner labels. I do like this artwork here, by the way, because it's very reminiscent of the old Godzilla movies and old other monster movies where, the movie's kind of cheesy looking, but the poster makes it look like, ooh, we got something here. But anyway, comes with one Blu-ray disc and a little booklet. The booklet isn't very big, and of course there's the shark just about ready to pounce. And yeah, it's got whatever you might want to read about the movie in that little book. Not a very big book. It's got the one Blu-ray disc, which seems to have the same artwork as the disc case cover. It's got inside artwork, which I don't know how visible that is. It's kind of dark. But, like I say, I got it a little while back there from Vinegar Syndrome. I do have the vital stats piece of paper because I know everybody's like, oh, I gotta get this movie right away. It's from 2024. It's 77 minutes long, in color, unrated, although there is a lot of fake blood being splattered all over, so it'd probably be at least PG if it was rated. It's in the 2:3:5:1 aspect ratio. It's got a DTS HD Master Audio 5.1. It's in Japanese with English subtitles. It's a Region A Blu-ray, and it's, I guess, put out by Utopia, which is, I guess, one of Vinegar Syndrome's partner labels. So, I guess, here comes the horrible story about this movie. Essentially, you have basically 3 or 4 main characters, like you would with any movie, I guess. It starts out with this kind of shark attack out in the ocean of sorts. Then people start disappearing from this hot springs. You have this chief of police who, to me, was my favorite character. He kind of was goofy looking and made weird faces. Not like some people we know. But you have him, you have the mayor, who's kind of over the top, and like most of these movies, and I'm sure it's even in Jaws, you have these officials, or mayors, or whatever you want to call them. Their concern is, money and the tourism. In the meantime, people are dying, in this case, in the hot springs. But you have these attacks in the hot springs. Nobody knows how they're getting in there, of course, until the one lead scientist, she's kind of, and one of the funny moments of this is this lead scientist, she's kind of like, her one colleague died by these shark attacks, and she's kind of there to identify the body, but then she sees the bite marks and is like, oh, this is an unknown shark species, and she's getting all excited, and instead of mourning her friend, she's getting all hyper. The movie is very crazy, and like I say, these characters are way over the top. So anyway, they discover that these sharks kind of compress themselves and go through the piping to these hot springs. And of course, the chief of police doesn't believe it at first, but then he's kind of convinced. The actual part, and I'm going to start a new section here called the obscure reference section. I'll probably put the title right up here somewhere. The section where they show the shark going through the pipe, and they do it a few times. They don't show the shark actually going. It's like a camera in front of the shark showing the pipe. And it reminded me of a game I used to play on the Sega years ago, probably before most of you were born, called Sewer Shark. So there's your obscure reference of the day. So anyway, then things really get moving along, and these sharks are just attacking everywhere. It's not necessarily in bathtubs and hot springs and stuff like that. It's out in the street, and in playgrounds, like a puddle of water will appear, and then the shark will come out of that. It's then the police chief saves the mayor, but he gets kind of chomped a bit. But he doesn't. This guy comes along, and this is right a pivotal part. About halfway through the movie, like the chief of the police, he kind of is not in the picture anymore because he's like in a coma from this shark bite. And then this new character, which he isn't real new, he was at the very beginning of the movie, they affectionately call Macho. He just kind of goes around punching the sharks and punching the ground, and the sharks scurry away and all this stuff. So he was a pretty awesome character. But then right at that point, when that lead scientist and the mayor, he kind of grows kind of a backbone, and him and her make this submersible using a giant 3D printer. Another part of the absurdity of this movie. So the mayor, the lead scientist, and Macho all go into the water looking for these sharks. Macho ends up being on the outside of the sub, ends up punching these sharks. They kind of defeat most of the sharks, and I don't want to spoil anything. This is like a new movie. So they defeat all these sharks, and then, lo and behold, a giant shark appears, even with a crown on his head, is how absurd this is. And it put me in mind of How to Train Your Dragon, where there was all those little dragons, and then all of a sudden at the end there's this huge dragon. So then they have to fight this giant shark. So I'm not going to spoil how that ends. I will say that this Macho guy, my two favorite characters were this Macho guy and the chief of police. Luckily, when one kind of disappeared for a while, the other took up the slack and became like not the main focus, but someone there to keep you entertained. I will say, if you don't like really cheesy movies, this probably won't be for you. It's got things I love, generally, but it's got very cheesy CGI, very noticeable. They aren't shying away from, hey, this is CGI. This is, this is what you're going to get. There's puppet sharks, and there's stuffed sharks, and they pass all this stuff off as being the real deal. You got people wrestling with these fake sharks, and very noticeably fake. There's miniatures. There's the giant 3D printer that kind of looks awkward. Oh, I almost forgot. There's even a montage with, I think music's playing, where they'll show the 3D printer making this submersible, and then it'll cut to the macho guy working out. Submersible, working out. So that's kind of an odd thing. I will say too that if you don't like subtitled movies, then this probably isn't for you either. But if you're a person that collects everything shark movies, you know, there was the Sharknadoes and a pile of other shark movies. You could usually find them in the cheap section over at Walmart. Then this might be for you. It is a Region A Blu-ray, so not everybody, unless you have a region-free player, you know, you're from another country other than the U.S. or, you know, Region A. So, I guess, if all that stuff made any sense whatsoever, which it probably didn't, I guess I didn't even rate the movie yet. If I was to rate this movie, which I guess that's why I'm here, I was back and forth about this movie, but I guess I'm going to settle on 7 rolls of pink insulation out of 10. I liked it. I watched it right before shooting this video, and I believe it was my 4th viewing, and there was stuff I picked up on. There's some subtle humor in this movie, and just all around, I don't want to say a goofball movie, because some parts of it are played up as serious or semi-serious, but I enjoyed it. I thought 7 rolls of pink insulation out of 10 was very fair, but if you've seen this movie or you have this movie, of course, leave a comment down in the comment section. I'd love to discuss it. I even have a section here that I just kind of started for all the nice people out there in YouTube land. If you want to pick this movie up, Vinegar Syndrome still has it and still has the limited slipcover. The limited slipcover at the time of this filming is $28.99. The standard edition's $26.49, and Amazon has it for $25.89. But I'm sure there's you might be able to get it at Walmart or order it from other places. So, I guess, until next time when I'm in the attic with a completely different movie, it probably won't be a comedy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.